Kilmartin is the founder of Hall. In fact, he's the ringleader of the circus called Hall and joins me again this week. Hello, Scott.
Hi, Fiona. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Good.
We were discussing last week a whole range of issues, but what came up for me was the incredible range of products that you have and how innovative they are. And I thought maybe we could focus about that today.
Sure.
Innovation in your business and with your products, how key has it been for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically what our business has been built on, the Hall brand. Look, I guess to take a little step back, everything we make has a recycled core to it. So currently we use old number plates, we turn them into photo albums and journals and soon to be some other stuff as well. We use old truck inner tubes, which are rubber, and then we turn those into messenger bags. The material that's been, I guess, the one that we've made the widest diverse range of products has been advertising billboards, which are vinyl. So the huge billboards that you see on the freeways or at the airport, they're about 3 car lengths long and about a car wide. Are various forms of PVC vinyl. So out of those, we've made bean bags and MacBook sleeves. We've made messenger bags and totes and a whole range of products. So those, I guess, for us, partly, I guess, the innovation is coming with it. We're using our point of difference, as well as, I guess, the innovation in our space, is that we're using materials that have been used before. We do blend them in. The zips and the rivets we use aren't recycled. We're pragmatic in terms of I think we work at, it's about 75% of the product has to be of recycled nature. Yep. So I guess that's what we're defined by, and our goal is to take those products and compete against, I guess, mainstream products where, not necessarily mainstream products, but products that we want to compete as a bag. We want to take it to an audience where they would make a choice over us as being a great bag, not necessarily the novelty of it's recycled. That's definitely some part of what helps us, but we want to compete on the big playing field.
Scott, it strikes me that you actually have to think in a certain way to notice that the billboards are an issue. How did you work that out? How do you figure out what kinds of rubbish to go after?
So look, the billboard one's an interesting one. I mean, I literally was in the back of a taxi scrambling to the airport. I was late and saw a billboard flailing in the wind. It was basically being installed by some guys. Really windy day. I thought billboards were paper, which is one of the big challenges we've had is actually communicating to our punters that billboards are vinyl and that we haven't taken a photo of a billboard and screen printed it. It's actually the real material. So once I found out that billboards were vinyl, I rang a mate of mine that worked in advertising and gone, can you get hold of some old billboards? He's gone, what do you want those for? And went through the whole process. So we got some, and there's a few different kinds of vinyl. The initial batch we got wasn't really that great. The paint chipped off them a lot. Then we found out there's a few other variations of that, and from then we started developing products. So it was a pretty random occurrence. In terms of how we go after materials now, we're a bit better at it. And look, we're not in the one-off art installation piece where we go and find a found object and make a one-off art piece. We want to make commercial products. So I need to know that I can get them in big quantities, and I need to know that we can get them where the logistics doesn't kill us. So one of the challenges of our products is, rubber. People ask you, are your materials free? And some of the materials we get are free. But the cost is actually in getting them shipped back from, if we're getting truck or tractor inner tubes, they're coming in from Gippsland, and the cost of me getting those truck inner tubes or sent back is actually ultimately, once we get them back and then we wash them and prepare them, to that point, it would have actually been cheaper for me to go and buy a sheet of rubber. So it's really a false economy to say that often our materials are free. It's that initially they might be, but the handling of the multiple handling and to get them to a workable point often is. So number plates were the other main material that we use, and we've actually entered in agreements with all the transport departments to, 1, let us do it, cut up the plates, and 2, guarantee supply. Yeah, and some of them, so we've got various forms. Some of them we actually collect ourselves in the transport departments or a third party. Some of them we have them sort them and send them to us. So it's not a one-size-fits-all model. I'd love if it was, and we've tried really hard to systemize that. It just does not often work that way because of the nature of the materials. There's a fair bit of inconsistency in them, and that, 1, it makes them unique, but 2, often makes them hard to try and get uniform logistics and manufacturing processes.
What would be the biggest winner in terms of a product that you thought was going to be a winner, and it was, and it really was innovation at its best?
For us, the products that we did really well with early, we were basically known as making these things out of number plates, and they were great, ticked along. Then we made, the next thing along was we made the rubber bags. So I showed you guys before was the messenger bags that are the trucking tubes. But the biggest product that we were prepared for and did really, really well out of was this little gem here. So this is a MacBook sleeve made out of an old advertising billboard. And this guy here, as you can see right now, is pretty beaten up, but it's about 3 years old. But we'd been making things out of billboards for a while, and we really tapped into the creative community. We're buying a lot of our stuff. Apple had just brought out this new range of MacBooks, and people often ask us why are we making them purely for the Apple range. It's because a 15-inch Dell is different size to a 15-inch Lenovo, different size from 15-inch Toshiba. So these guys were set shape, and we knew that there was a real fix that the guys that were designing billboards were also the guys that were using Macs. So, so this product, we were a lot more experienced when we came to it. We launched it really well. It's still a small little niche, but we did really well. We got a lot of press, got a lot of coverage, started to get some of the Apple crowd talking about us online, and it became a Rockstar product. And even 3 years later, it's still done really well for us. So.
That's fantastic. That's one that's really worked. Are there any that you've loved and they haven't worked?
Yeah. Where do you want to start? We've at the billboard material, we made we were doing cafe and bar fit outs for a while. We were covering old couches. We were making ottomans. We were doing design studios. We had this cafe in Brisbane that we made some furniture for, and the guy's gone, look, I've got this kind of open plan kitchen. Can you make us aprons? I've got a staff. They don't really want to wear uniforms. We want to have some kind of look that you know it's us. So we designed these kind of half Italian waiter aprons for the front of house staff to wear, and full aprons for the back of house staff to wear. The aprons are made of vinyl, so we knew there was an issue with having them against hot stoves. So it was a lot of prep staff could wear them, others couldn't. And they got, like, the guy was forever sending us photos of staff in these things, and customers going, can we buy those? So we thought we'd had pretty good customer feedback on that if we launched them as a consumer product, that we'd get chefs and artists and whatever buying them. And we got a few, but it just never got off the ground. To this day, I don't really know why. The people that came into our store at this point in time, we had a store, loved them, and we did quite well with sales, but we couldn't sell them in stores. Part of it was they were a relatively big product, and a lot of aprons are really, really cheap. The apron business is about ones that have stupid slogans on them, or fake plastic boobs, and so we weren't in the same price point. But I think ultimately one of the issues that we found out was that we just struggled to get stores to merchandise them really well. But even that wasn't the answer. Even the stores that didn't sell. So, and the frustration wasn't that it didn't work; is that we couldn't find out why it didn't work. Yeah. We changed price points. We did all kinds of things.
There was a way in, and you just didn't find it.
So that wasn't a huge loss for us. It wasn't one that we banked the farm on, but it was just drove me nuts. And to this day, I still think about it, because we've still got some of them that people wear. That we get a guy calling going, hey, I was in this cafe in Brisbane. Can I have an apron? And I'm like, whatever happened to that?
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit like that. I'm going like, should we relaunch it? And I'm like, no, leave it alone. So.
I've been speaking to Scott Kilmartin from both Hall and Riveting today. Thank you for your time, Scott.
Thanks, Fiona.